Here's a quick update for where things are right now. The previous videos I covered the topics of food and water, and right now I thought I would touch on shelter and specifically security. Right now, like I mentioned, I'm in a 440 square foot apartment that's approximately 46 square meters, and it's cozy. It's comfortable for me. Yet at the same time, it's not really the most fortified thing in the world. So, depending on what sort of materials and goods that I end up having, I may or may not be in the best situation to protect them. What I'm specifically referring to right now is I've got my front door, as well as this giant plate window right here, right in the front. Uh, in the back, I've got I'm not sure if you can really see that. I've got another window in my bedroom that spans most of that back wall. And then in my bathroom, I've got a third window right there. With those openings being pointed out, I thought to myself, how might I be able to reinforce these and protect whatever sort of goods and things like that that I might happen to collect? I've been playing with some ideas. One of my ideas is using these materials that I've gathered over, a number of days and weeks, as well as things that I find on the side of the road. And maybe I might be able to do something that would be helpful in reinforcing this door, as well as reinforcing that giant window. For reasons I'll point out later, I'm mostly focusing on these two aspects right here. So I've got a design in mind, what I'm going to do with this, and how I'm going to apply it to that door. And I think I'll just go ahead and get started on that. Here's the general idea of what I've come up with so far. Ideally, what I'd like to do is have some kind of piece of wood get caught up right underneath this door handle or somewhere up here, so that way this door wouldn't be able to get pushed in. And then this piece of wood is being braced up against the opposing wall by some kind of long connection fence post or some kind of like wooden dowel or something. I haven't quite figured anything out, but right now I've got a number of different options and possibilities. This all coming from different scraps and things that I've found on the roadside or in various garbage piles. I don't think I'll have any sort of problem connecting them because along with these pieces of wood, I've found all sorts of screws and nails and things, many of which were still connected to the pieces of wood that I picked up. That, combined with the fact that I've got a cordless drill that my dad gave me, I think I would be able to pretty easily cobble something together that would be some amount of stable and secure. As far as these windows go, what I was thinking is I could use some more of these pressboard things to cover up as much of this window as I could. And worst case scenario, I could just move this whole couch right in front of the window and then have either those pressboards or some plywood that I found, or hopefully will find, up behind it. Now, practically, I don't really want to do that because then I would lose all sort of functionality of these windows, and being able to actually slide these things open is pretty useful. But that would be an option, and I think that would be pretty helpful. I think that would make things pretty secure. Like I said, these 2 points of entry would be my biggest concern. And with these 2 rough ideas, I think most of my concerns would be addressed. Alright, here I am outside. I apologize for the noise, it's a bit windy out here, and I don't really have anything in terms of a professional microphone, but I'll just try to make this work. So here I am outside my apartment. You can see the front of it, and right there you can see the front door and that plate window like I was talking about. Now, when I was referring to the two side windows and how they're not really too much of a concern, this is what I meant. Seems like most of my apartment and the complex itself is on top of this slab of foundation, and it might not really be too obvious here in the video, but let's see if I can do this with one hand. It's actually quite a bit in the air. Just got this tape measure right here. The foundation comes up to about, well, a little less than 3 feet. And a little bit less than a meter. So I'm looking at about 32 inches in addition to whatever sort of height that the windows are at right now. So from the outside, you can see there's that bathroom window that I was referring to, and it's quite a bit off the ground, so I'm not really too concerned with it being any sort of entry point. And the same pretty much goes for the bedroom window. But on second thought, it might not be a bad idea to not be too overly confident about this window or that window becoming a problem. I will probably continue keeping these things in mind. I have no idea how I would enhance the security of these two entry points, but it's, like I said, something I'll continue keeping in mind. That's about all I've got for this video right now. I'll keep just hanging out here, coming up with new ideas and keeping myself busy. I had a different video in mind for today, but as you probably saw and heard outside, it's pretty windy and not very conducive to outdoor activities. So this is what I came up with as an alternative. All that being said, I hope to talk to you guys later.